Well, a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the first playoff semi-final between Old Hararians and Zambezi Steelers. This is the penultimate weekend of the Paramount Archer Harare Under-20 Rugby League. And immediately on to the money was Mundawaro getting the ball out. Wow, that looks like a high tackle. Immediately signaled by Gideon Muyambo. That high tackle was made on Tanaka Makaza, who is the vice captain of the Steelers. And it was made by the number 11. Looks like Shalom Marmani. Rather more of a Chitendeni twin. It looks like a Chitendeni twin. Well, one of the players that we had not known had made the switch is Tawanda Chisungo. Initially started for Harare Sports Club at the beginning of the season, but he's now there with Old Hararians. So Makaza looking for that line out, doesn't get it straight. And with that, Old Alarians are going to look for the scrum. Old Alarians within their scrum, their front row, Tanatswa Soda, Tafadzwa Magada, Dean Chisi, that's the front row, Michael Mtombeni and Delroy Chitambira. Those are their back rowers, Takuchi Famba and Shondoa in 6 and 7. And then Tapiwa Nashe Tagarira is the 8th man. The big burly 8th man played a pretty good hand against Old Georgians, but unfortunately falling to them at Prince Edward last weekend. Their scrum half being Weston Ravunda. Weston, well, that looks like a big shove in the scrum, but unfortunately they've done it wrong. And with that, penalty against them. And going for the kick into touch. It's looking like Munangi Kamwendo, who's wearing jersey number 13. It is going to be a line out still in favor of the Steelers. Line out isn't successful. Shondoa gonna get it out, but doesn't get the pass right. Luckily for them, they still do retain possession. Ravunda looks for Kamvumbi. Kamvumbi doesn't quite get or wrap his foot around the ball. And though it goes into touch, it is going to be a line out in favor of the Steelers. Now the Steelers have been getting results that many would actually say they did not deserve at all. But guess what? When you play with hunger and fight, you deserve any result that you get. And as the line out comes through, Rufaro Shenje gets it right. A good tackle on Mangenje. Munangi Kamwendo decides to take on the charge. Good pickup on Mundawaro. Out from Mangenje. Being rolled over to Ivan Chirengende. Decides to hold on to possession. Shenje, the former St. George's captain from last year. A really good season. Mundawaro. Mangenje. Kamwendo Lovely little pass on the outside. Still has a man on the outside. Tries to go for him, but Kamvumbi able to take him down. Look like Ralph Tekede, who received the ball there. Good line out from Alarians. Again, looking for their big boys to put in a shift. But stolen by the Steelers. Mangenje, Mundawaro. Mangenje looking for clean ball, finally gets it out. Ball comes out, Ivan Chirengende. Oh, big bustling run, but can't get it out to Munangi Kamwendo. Luckily for them, they do have a penalty in their favor. And Gideon Miambo is going to have a chat. And looks like it's a yellow card straight to number 11, Shalom Marmani. Oh my word. That's the last thing that Hararians would have wanted very early on in the first half. And immediately the kicking tee has come out. And it looks like Ziko Macheka is going to be taking responsibility for the kicking duties here. The kick doesn't look too good, and it's going to be a counter-attack here. It's looking like Mandi Ambira. Well, good to see some hard tackling. Tanatswa Soda there put under a heavy tackle, and a good stealing from the Steelers. Rufaro Shenje goes in against Shondoa. They met in the schoolboy rugby season last year as captains of St. George's and Peterhouse respectively. Munangi Kamwendo decides to spread it out wide, out to their winger, Taombera Chivanga. Finally taken down, and it's looking more and more like as if Steelers might just punch the first digit on the scoreboard. Mundawaro through the gap. Can he dive over? Oh, he falls a couple of centimeters short. A pickup, and all the Hararians are doing everything to hold him up. Still more meters to be made. A dummy tries to go for it. That looks like might have been a high tackle, and there's a likelihood that is going to be another yellow card. And if it is, then it should be a penalty try as well. Yellow card given to the Lucid, and penalty try to Zambezi Steelers. And they draw first blood. 2 yellow cards. Oh my word. Dean Chisi as well as a Shalom Marmani on the bench or in the sin bin chairs. 2 players off. Surely the Steelers will feel this is a wonderful opportunity to add more points on the board and to try and cement that place in a final, which would be absolutely phenomenal for them within the season. Coming from Division 1 last year, in their first year playing in the Under-20 League, winning it without a defeat in sight, winning the relegation promotion playoff. And Munangi, unfortunately, that one bounces off his chest. And offside. Once it bounced off Kamwendo's chest, it was picked up by a player that was right in front of him. That was offside. So whilst the Steelers lead 7 points to 0, they have been in that passage of play, slightly sloppy. Weston Ravunda has got Tatenda Kamvumbi waiting in the wings to receive. So the likes of Mandiambira, he's going to go for a run, but there was poor execution. Luckily, it does go all the way out to their fullback, Tawanda Chisungo. As we mentioned, has moved from the Red Lions to Marasta in the mid-season transfer window. Ball comes out to Soda. Soda taken down. Leaves it for Chitambira. Well, just not rolling away after having made the tackle. Weston Ravunda passes it out. And what a hit right there. But looks like the referee might just be pulling play back and say, let's come for the scrum. Was it a knock-on? Well, by the looks of it, with the Steelers having the scrum, it does look like it. And Mangenje will need to work it out nicely here for Macheka to be able to do right by defending that place. Big shove by Old Hararians, but pick and go by Shenje. Offloads it to Chirengende, but he just couldn't get it out of his hands. There was a huge overlap created there. And that's another 10. I think they were talking back at the referee. I think they did not release after having made the tackle. And once you chat to Gideon Muyambo, he's going to make you pay for it. Not so sure if that was the wisest idea by Tanaka Masawi. And Steelers decide to go for a scrum. Not so sure after they were put on wheels in the previous scrum whether that would be the best idea. But again, they are not in too much of a danger zone. And the requisition made by Gideon Muyambo for the scrum half to go back. Mangenje out to Kamwendo. Kamwendo dabs it downfield. Gonna put in the chase, and it bounces quite favorably and kindly. Ralph Tekede goes past Chisungo. Can't pick it up. Chisungo does, but he's been smothered. And it is going to be a knock-on in favor of Old Hararians. Old Hararians were in serious trouble. That was a delicate dab over the top by Munangi Kamwendo, who has really lit up the under-20 Harare League with some brilliant performances and is part of the wider training squad that will find itself in the upcoming Nedbank Rugby Challenge, which will start on the 22nd of March. So you will also want to watch him, whether he then punches his ticket into the junior sable side. Was at Kingswood College down in South Africa. And for one to have been considered as a head boy down at Kingswood ultimately means that he was as well a very important feature in their rugby side. But a penalty blown against the Steelers, and Chisungo is going to take care of kicking duties. Looks like he gets that one horribly wrong, but it does get a lot of meters onto it. Now, Good run, but was more across than it was forward. Ball comes out to Ethan Ferguson. Gets his first carry of the game. Macheka, well, that ball not going cleanly. And the eighth man from Old Hararians, Tapiwana Sheta Garira, has been one of the big boys. Good size on him. Obviously, there'll be expectations when you have got that size, your carries, your runs, your defensive nature, what you'll be doing at the breakdown. All of these are expectations, especially in modern day rugby, what you'll be expected to do. But because of the 2 yellow cards that Old Alarians have, Tagarira has to come into the flanker position and try and make sure that the scrum holds a steady. Ball does come out. Ravunda to Kamvumbi. Finally pops it out. Oh, well, breaks out of that one. Still going, but Ivan Chirengende does hold on to them. And he kept on rolling and rolling and rolling. Needed to have stopped. A quick tap and go. Munangi Kamwendo just looking to make an impact on the game. Lovely little sidestep by the back rower. Don't know if he's got any kicking IQ to have gotten it out of the danger zone, but Kamvumbi comes and helps out. Here's a back rower. Now taken down, put under control. Ball out, Rufaro Shenje. Shenje decides to cut back inside, but immediately hacked down. Decides to go for a boot upfield. Rauf Tekede following. Picked up by Darren Chakirai. And Chakirai finds a touch just inside the halfway line. So Tanaka Makaza gets on to get his line out in. Zambezi Steelers have really been good with their lineouts, but so far have gotten the other line out not correct. So let's see whether they can get this one right. All right, ball comes out, Mangenje, and referee not happy. Says that was not in straight. So for the Steelers, a little bit disappointing. I'm sure disappointing even for their technical bench. Antoine Polsman, who has really been concentrating on the forwards. The man coming from Belgium on attachment with the Steelers has helped them do well. Kevin Klindi as well has also been in there. We know what he has been contributing to the Sables setup as well in terms of the forwards play. Ball comes in. Old Hararians holds us strong even though they are missing. Oh, Kamvumbi. That kick was not good enough. And another knock on. Surely Kamvumbi could have done much better than that. Fell asleep at the wheel there and couldn't execute that dab over the top. But as the game progresses, it's still the Steelers who are leading 7-0 as a result of a penalty try given. A high tackle right by the try line and adjudged correctly by Gideon Muyambo as a yellow card and ultimately a penalty try. So Steelers still waiting for the ball to come out and it just doesn't. And Old Hararians are still powerful in the scrum despite being one man short. Kamvumbi tries to find touch, and that is one of the better kicks. And that's just inside the 22. Now, for now, Old Alarians surely should find a moment to attack and penetrate here. Mandiambira, Chakirai, very strong runners, need to get them on the ball. They do get their line out. Decides to take a bit of a gap that he found amongst the forwards. And they do gain so many meters. Great work from Old Hararians. Pick and go right now. Great forward play. Ripped away by the Steelers, and they managed to clear their lines. And Old Hararians would be ruining that opportunity. Right at the halfway line. Now deciding to come onto the near side. Decides to go for a dab over the top. Comes to the runner. And he's going to be smothered by Old Hararians players. But great support. And I did mention it before. That was going to be tough for the Steelers to do it. Coming through the side as they were trying to seal that ruck. And surely this would only make sense. To kick into touch. Get a line out. Go for a driving maul. Set up a driving maul. Kamvumbi goes for it. At least it doesn't butcher it. I think we've seen through the season some of these kicks attempting to find the line out have been butchered horribly by many of our youngsters. But the hope will be that as they continue to learn their rugby and possibly even move on to playing for the senior men's teams in their clubs, they'll do well. Oh, Old Hararians. They do get a penalty, an infringement on the jumper. Obstruction on his hand. Jumper did well though. Must say, Michael Mtombeni. Tall lad. Also a great runner. Puts in some great carries. Did see a little bit of that last week and even in previous weeks. And Old Hararians decides and that since we are now back in full force in our scrum, let's go for a scrum. Their scrums have been quite heavy against the Steelers. Even when they were missing just one man, they were still able to shove the Steelers. And looking for a big shove. Might be an eighth-man break. Takarira going past everybody. Difficult man to stop. Can he get it down? No, that has been held up. Looks like we might just have a penalty still in favor of Old Hararians. It's no try. But Gideon Muyambo says, well, knock on at the base of the scrum by Tagarra as he was trying to pick and go. But surely proving to be a very difficult man to stop. Once he does have full momentum, it's going to be hard. Rufaro Shenje goes into it, breaks through one, and makes very good meters with his eighth-man break. Ball comes out. Macheka looking for a long pass out wide. His winger has to run back inside. That is Chivanga. Referee says play does not continue. Penalty. Offside for Old Hararians. 7-0 it still is, ladies and gentlemen. Here at Old Georgian Sports Club, you are watching Sports Extra. My name is Rugby Chakoreka. The first semi-final between Old Hararians and Zambezi Steelers. And the Steelers are looking to ghost their way into a final. If you are talking about non-entities and no names, that's what Steelers has. But those no names have been able to ghost their way into a semi-final place and are looking to punch their ticket into a final this afternoon. And so far, they've taken the first step in the right direction, 7-0. Makaza. Good line out. Mangenje to Chirengende. Chirengende, hard runner, taken down by Mandiambira. Mangenje to Macheka. Goes for a high hanging kick. Taken by Old Alarians. Good take, good result. Shondoa makes a good run. Looking for a ball out, decides to go into the traffic himself. Looking for runners. Hey, that's a good run by Chisi, who has come back onto the park after his yellow card. Tackler not rolling away. And Kamvumbi will also go for another big hoof upfield. Unfortunately, this time round it doesn't find touch, and most likely it is going to go over the dead ball line. And those kinds of mistakes at under 20 level surely are almost unforgivable, because you've just handed possession to the opposition in your own half when you should have been finding touch. Time continues to rock and roll in this first half. Tawana Mangenje feeds it in. Out to Macheka. Out to Kamwendo. Kamwendo decides to go alone. Taken down. Another good takedown by Kamvumbi. Mangenje. Macheka. Shenje. Looking to contest. He's gotten the ball. But Shondoa will be adjudged to have not released. So they decide to kick for touch and get it into that very, very important zone deep in the 22. And Tanaka Makaza. Line out comes in. Good take again. Ethan Ferguson finds Makaza. Oh, well, they've just been broken through. What happened to Old Hararians there? And the try scorer, Takudzwa Chisepo. Great running line. And Old Hararians are caught napping. Napping is an understatement. They were caught in La La Land. 12 points to nil. Old Hararians are trailing. And it's just getting a little bit more tricky here. As we Ziko Macheka. Ziko Macheka gets that conversion right. And 14 points to nil. And so it's a penalty. And a quick tap and go. All Hararians looking to respond. And the scrum half might just make it all the way through. And he has! Try time it is. All Hararians have responded straight from the kickoff. Weston Ravunda taking the match by the horns and going ahead and scoring that try. Looks like Marasta are not about Mawiv this afternoon. They have finally gone to what Marasta actually do. Kamvumbi going for the conversion. Pulls it. Good. And it looks very good. Well, he makes sure that he pulls 7 points back from the scoreline. And it's now 14-7 in favor of the Steelers still. But could we be seeing a comeback from Old Hararians? Macheka gets it up. Well, kind of bounced in the hands. Decides to get it to Kamvumbi. Sidestep. He decides to find touch, and I actually think that was a smart idea, but unfortunately, there were many runners that were in front of the kicker. Really, that is poor work and poor play from Old Hararians. You cannot find yourself in front of the kicker. You will be penalized for such. And obviously good to see our Junior Sables head coach here, Sean D'Souza. Obviously looking at what some of the boys are doing here. He has got a massive task. Well, after a poor line out, Old Hararians get the ball. Kamvumbi gets it upfield, this time into really good space. Goes past the 50-meter. Won't get a 50-22, that I know. Kamvumbi is right behind the ball. Decides to come back inside, looking for support. He does find it. Mandiambira on the ball, decides to offload it, decides to push it outside to their winger who cuts back in, makes some good meters. And there's continuity from Old Hararians, but finally bundled into touch. It looks like Old Hararians have now woken up. Have really woken up now and are looking to play their rugby. Steelers will have to weather this storm for just a bit. And while it doesn't look like they'll have to weather it for too long, it looks like it's the halftime break that has been called for. And as the Steelers that go into the halftime break leading 14 points to 7, and will be very lucky that the momentum that the Old Alarians team were getting on board has been stopped. Halftime break it is. Zambezi Steelers 14, Old Alarians 7. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this match. It is the second half now. Zambezi Steelers are the ones in the navy blue kit with the lime numbering, whilst Old Hararians in a green, predominantly green kit with white shorts. The scoreline is Zambezi Steelers 14, Old Hararians 7. Old Hararians through Weston Ravunda scoring their try. Initially getting a penalty try were Zambezi Steelers, and then extending their lead through Takudzwa Chisepo, who ran a brilliant line. But with that scrum being asked to come up again, now both sides have got 15 men. 2 yellow cards in the first half for Old Hararians. That is also very poor discipline from Marasta. Rufaro Shenje goes for an 8th-man break. Always manages to break 1 or 2 tackles before he's brought to ground. So comes in as a wonderful weapon for Rufaro Chikasha. He comes on the park as a substitute. Oh, Chisepo! What a hit! Macheka almost makes it through, but Old Hararians holding him up. And penalty. Offside for Old Hararians. And this surely should be another kicking tee opportunity. And it is Macheka who's going to go for the conversion. So Macheka will look to extend the lead to 17-7, extended by 10 points. Already Old Hararians are far too close for comfort, so Macheka gets it right. And 17-7 it is in favor of the Steelers. Old Hararians are still with a lot more work to do. The feeling is that that back line is not as fluid as it should be. Weston Ravunda there, to be honest, did more of a gung-ho approach and managed to put that try in that Kamvumbi managed to convert. But now they really need to get their wheels rolling, get some of their runners running. A good high hanging kick. Well collected by the Steelers. Looks like Shenje that did the collection there. Penalty. Mnangi Kamwendo will come. Goes for the kick upfield. Into touch. Just past the halfway line. Not too many meters gained, but just enough. So here comes another line out from Makaza. Referee will have a bit of a chat, hoping that he will not get tired of the back chatting from all the Hararians. Looking like we've got another substitution from the Steelers. Really, at the beginning of the second half, Tadiwa Nashe Domingo off, and coming on is Sean Madzivanika. Chisepo is a massive runner. Tagarira, sit down to Ivan Chirengende from Tagarira. Ravunda, Kamvumbi, Mandiambira, passes it out. Oh, whoa. And honestly, what kind of a pass was he looking to execute there? But well, to be fair and honest, by the time he got that pass from Mandiambira, he was meat that was ready to be roasted. And he was nailed in the tackle, so it was always going to be difficult as well to retain that possession. But looking like a massive, massive change. So substitutions that have taken place. 3 substitutions. Tagarira is going to come off. So is blind side flanker Takuchi Famba. Also has to come off. They've now put Shondoa in the 8th man position. Coming on as number 18, Tadiwa Ziki is going to come on as the flanker. Referee not happy with the way that the scrum is looking like and going about. Oh, well, that scrum collapses again, and it's a penalty. Far too quick on the tap and not from the mark. Mangenje, one would say a little bit too excited. Mnangi Kamwendo. Gets us some decent meters. So here comes the line out. Looking like we're going to have a change as well for all the Hararians on that front row. Tanatswa Soda is off. All the Hararians are being asked to go back the full 10. So that line out will be taken again by Makaza, the vice captain for the Steelers. Well, they will feel that despite the result of this match, it should make them happy that they have managed to make it this far. Now Mandiambira goes into contact. And well, Gideon Miyambo says that there was no advantage gained there. A high tackle by the Steelers. All the Hararians need to realize that time is moving. Goes for a big kick upfield. Tanaka Masawi, the one having taken that kick upfield. I've seen very little of the back line of Old Hararians, which I do know should be employed. If they employ it a little bit more, who knows what could come out of it. Still looking for a ball. What a match this has been. Steelers currently leading 17-7. 2 converted tries, however, from Old Alarians could turn the match on its head. But at the present moment, with the way that they have made some mistakes, one has a feeling that it's going to be very difficult to get those 2 converted tries. So as we still await for a ball to come onto the park, we are hoping that it will come sooner rather than later. However, it is a beautiful time for rest. Especially the forward pack can get some rest in there. And it looks like finally we do have a ball on the park. So as the ball comes on, a great take by Old Hararians. And that was, again, another attempt at a turnover in the line-out that has gone wrong for the Steelers. Penalized for obstructing the jumper. And Old Hararians on their way to trying to find touch, if they can find it properly. So another line out to 2 Old Hararians. Well, it looks like the boys seem to be kicking the ball a little bit too much here. Again, we do have a challenge with getting a ball on the park. So line out for all Hararians. We'll be looking for a clean feed. Stolen by the Steelers, but it looks like they've knocked it on. Chisepo unable to get a clean grab after it was a line out that had actually gone quite wrong, to be fair. But it's going to be a scrum in favor of Old Hararians in the 22 of the Steelers. You do not come out of this position with nothing. You're not allowed to do so. It is imperative that Old Hararians actually get something out of it. Rugby laws and rugby philosophy demands it. Ball comes out. Mandi Ambira, Kamvumbi, long shot pass. And somehow, someway, Old Hararians just find a way of butchering wonderful opportunities. Here comes the loose head. Taken down. Kamvumbi looks for the short pass. Kamvumbi needs a Mandiambira to go. He pops it out. Surely this should be try time. He rolls over. But he's just centimeters short. Old Hararians are still making the meters, but Steelers are defending with their lives at the moment. Kamvumbi looking for a gap. He finds it. Oh, my word. Butchers that one, but luckily for him, penalty advantage still exists for Old Hararians. Brings it back to the original infringement. Tap and go, and still falling short. Pick and go again from Old Hararians. Could there have been, oh my word, they've knocked it on. And another chance that has been wasted by Old Hararians. And poor decision making has made them pay the price. So, looks like it's going to be an in-goal dropout. Grabs a hold of it. Charges straight to the line. Looks for the pass. Horribly poor. But anyway, and that might just be a steal from the Steelers. But they managed to recover. Chisungo now comes looking to be a first receiver. Decides to tell the line to keep on going, and the Steelers have turned over possession. Upfield it goes. Kamvumbi gets onto the ball. Needs to create some magic. He does. A little bit of a grab. I'm not so sure if that was the wisest idea, and Steelers get possession. Referee calls a hold to play. Going to have a chat with all Hararians. It looks like all Hararians have gotten themselves a scrum for an accidental obstruction. All Hararians have got the lion's share of possession at the moment, but just can't get past the Steelers. Coming after this, we will see another massive clash. Pitbulls are taking on Old Georgians, the home side. Good feed, good scrum. Mandiambira, first receiver, really has been running gingerly, I must say. Nice little overlap here on this near side. If they can just draw and pass. Decides to cut back inside. On the ground, Ravunda gets it to one of his forward runners. Oh, lovely dummy by Kamvumbi, looking for the inside pass, and Ravunda will get his second try of the match. Oh, that was beautiful magic from Kamvumbi. I mean, he was quite lackadaisical about how he went about finding that gap, but once he found it, found the inside run of Ravunda. And there we go. 17-12 it is. If they get the conversion right, it's only a 3-point game. Well, he gets the conversion right, and that means it's 17-14. All Hararians are still with a bit of work to do, but it's well within their grasp. If they score the next try, immediately they bump themselves into the lead. But the question is, how much time do they have left? All Hararians still with the ball, need of support. And they do get their penalty signaled by Gideon Miyambo. Again, taking on the ball, looking to find touch. Will be very important to find it. He finds touch. I hope he doesn't find the next door neighbors as well. So, here comes the line out. Need to get it right, need to get it straight. Well, decided to run on the wrong side of life. And that hands possession over to the Steelers. Looks like we're going to have a substitution. That is coming on board for the Steelers. Coming off is Ethan Ferguson. He has put in his shift. Old Hararians, they fluff a line out which they had turned over. Macheka swings it out wide, but a big tackle. Ho, ho, ho. What a contestation from the young man who's wearing or spotting the afro on the field. We'll try and find out who he is. Comes in. Big shove. But unfortunately, the ball was gone. Munangi Kamwendo looking to create a bit more magic. And that ball is knocked on. Now Old Alarians with the momentum. Can they turn the game on its head? Do they have enough time? Waiting in the wings. The Pit Bulls and the home side, Old Georgians. Old Georgians with quite a bit to prove. So Joe Masunda is the young man wearing jersey number 23. I was told by Shelton Chuswa to watch out for this young man. And let's see what he can deliver. Kamvumbi offloads it. And once again, not necessarily the smartest move. Kamvumbi looking for that pass. Tried to be a little bit too inventive there, Kamvumbi, and needs to watch out for that. Could easily be throwing away a game that they have now taken a grip of. So need to be a little bit careful here, Old Hararians. They drive too early, find themselves in a pretty pickle. Going for the drive. Scrum collapses on this near side. Munangi Kamwendo in the pocket. Charged down. And Old Hararians have turned over possession. Now they've got a chance to attack. Can they attack? Ripped away. And that is a penalty against the Steelers. Offside line. They could go for a conversion from this point and level matters, or they could go for a line out. Looks like they've decided to go for the conversion. Either way, if it's a strong enough boot, it'll be a 22-meter dropout to them. But Kamvumbi will be given the responsibility here to try and level the score. So Kamvumbi needs to try and concentrate and get this one over. It's looking good. It's looking awesome. And it's gone through. The young man called Kamvumbi has got pendulumalistic behavior, beautiful moments, horror moments, and back to beautiful once again. That was a beautiful kick to ensure that matters are now level at 17 points apiece. Now, the feeling is whoever scores from this point surely should be able to back this match. Rufaro Shenje has been substituted by Zambezi Steelers. Put in a very good shift, especially in the first half. That was a horrible attempt at taking the ball. Miscommunication, and all the Hararians just love to dig themselves into trouble. So looking at some of the substitutions that have come on. Isheanesu Mwanandimai has come as a winger. And that is on the left wing. Whilst a lot more changes have been made in the scrum. Fullback Dean Makweche has also made some really good carries. All the Hararians will be banking on a very strong scrum. Well, it remains a steady. Chisepo is the one who has gone into the 8th man position from the blindside flank. And slowly but surely, Steelers are making the meters and penalty advantage, I believe, for offside there from Old Hararians. Huge overlap on the far side. Chisepo picks up, and it's try time. And Old Hararians, who effectively have dug themselves into this from the restart kick, are now behind again, 22 points to 17, with the conversion yet to come. Well, Macheka doesn't get that one right, so they will settle for 22-17. And again, all the Hararians need a converted try if they want to win this one. But they've just literally dug themselves, not into a hole, but literally into a well. Approximately 15 minutes left. 4 minutes rather left in this encounter, with the Steelers leading by just a try. All the Hararians need a miracle, need magic from the likes of Kamvumbi. Kamvumbi makes a meal of it. Somebody is behind him. He needs to watch out for it. All the Hararians now on the run. Looking for the pass. Comes over the top, and oh, that was a knock on. All the Hararians continue to dig that well. And these are coach killers. I can see Shelton Chiuswa has lost all of his beard and part of his hair in his head. Livid he is. This is a game that all the Hararians have easily given on a silver platter to the Steelers. So many chances that have been butchered. And Weston Ravunda, who has had a very fantastic game, he comes off the park. He has done his part. It's now for the rest. Getting ready for a scrum feed. Fed well. Ball comes out. Munangi Kamwendo decides to go upfield. Kamvumbi is waiting there. And he makes another meal of a high ball. Steelers are going to be all over them. And referee is going to blow and say no. Come away from it. Under the high ball, Kamvumbi has been horribly suspect. So penalty here for Old Hararians. Arguably, there should be just about 2 minutes left. If they decide to find touch, they need to win the line out. And to be fair, they just need a converted try from here at the bare minimum. If they can find themselves a try, then who knows? Might just be able to go ahead and force extra time. This line out is crucial for Old Hararians. Can they get it right? Stolen by the Steelers. Macheka decides to go into contact while protected. Kamwendo holding on. Again, now building up the phases as they are running down the clock. Chisepo goes in for a big run. Good carrier. Mundawaro, he's also made some good carries. Macheka gets the ball again. Ivan Chirengende. Oh, that looked like a forward pass. And that is going to be a scrum to Old Alarians. What can they do from here? This is an important scrum for Old Hararians to win. The new scrum half that's there, Tadiwa Choto, wearing jersey number 21 for Old Hararians. The scrum is good. Comes out, Kamvumbi looking for the pass. Can they get it? A lovely dummy. But can he find the offload? Ball comes out to Kamvumbi. Stops. Looking for options. They cannot knock it on here. Choto gets it out to one of the back rowers. Old Hararians are building up the phases. Kamvumbi, dummy, gets the ball in, offload, there we go. Now they've got a huge overlap. Do they have the pace? It looks like he's got the pace. Cuts back inside out. Oh, beautiful try-saving tackle there from the fullback. Choto brings it out. Oh, beautiful tackle in defense. That looks like it's going to be a penalty in favor of Old Hararians, surely. That's a tap and go. Are they back 10? It's another penalty advantage. Old Hararians need to bury this chance. Kamvumbi cuts back inside. Choto looking for the pass on the outside. Old Hararians, can they make it? It's try time, is it? It's try time for Old Hararians, and they managed to force it into extra time. Now, if he misses this kick, it goes into extra time. If he gets it right, then ultimately Old Alarians would have dug themselves out of the deepest well that they've ever dug themselves into. I mean, this game was really there for them to win. So many chances, so many mistakes that they made. But this is the kick that is going to make Tatenda Kamvumbi either a hero or the one that forces Old Hararians to play longer minutes than they would want to. Let's see if he can spray and sprinkle a little bit of magic dust over this one. 22 points apiece. He goes for it. It's looking good. Does he get it right? He does. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tatenda Kamvumbi has pulled Old Hararians from the dead. And he has gotten the match. And Old Hararians beat the Steelers and progressed to the final of the Paramount Archer Harare Under-20 Rugby League. For so long, the Steelers were holding on to this one. They looked like they were going to win. What scenes, amazing scenes. The game is over. The Steelers are gutted, but Marasta have just waved a bit of that magic wand within their hair. And yes, Marasta have dominated, and the traditional rugby giants have shown what it's all about. Congratulations to Old Hararians as they come out as the victors in this first semi-final of the Paramount Archer Harare Under-20 Rugby League. It ends Old Hararians 24, Zambezi Steelers 22.